Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry's Sisters Review. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody if you choose to. If not, just sit back, relax while we get into this messy thing. And I just want to go ahead and apologize for my voice being as raspy as it is right now. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. It was a whole lot of yelling, a whole lot of fun. So this is the results. But let's just get this thing crack-a-lacking.
I don't have to prove my feelings for Gary to you. You're his employee, not his keeper.
Now, Andy, I understand that she is trying to play the role of truly being in love with Gary, but it's not working, at least from my perspective. And it's good to see her attempt to have somewhat of a backbone as it pertains to Hudson, but we all know that it's going to be short-lived. And I always find it humorous anytime that Andy has these bursts of bouts of boldness because it just doesn't last long. It doesn't last long. 9 times out of 10, it's always misdirected to the wrong person. And I'm like, I understand maybe Robin popping back on the scene is giving her like this false sense of confidence. However, as I stated, we all know that it's not going to last very long.
Mr. Borders is quite the resilient patient.
You know what else is resilient? Cockroaches.
Now we see Penelope, Hudson, and this doctor. Let me just give this doctor a shout out because he don't get too many props or whatever like that. But the actor who's playing this role, he's doing a magnificent job. Because if I did not know that he was an actor, I would truly believe that old dude was truly indeed a doctor. All I want to say is Penelope, go home. I don't even understand why she's here. But I will say this. Ever since Penelope has gotten out of that Fisher-Price protective custody they had baby girl in, she has been on one. And I mean on a big one. And I understand. I understand that Gary is the reason that she lost her child. But love, this ain't you. I need you to go to therapy. I need you to deal with what you need to deal with. Because popping up at this hospital talking about how Gary is as relentless as cockroaches, baby girl, this ain't you. That statement let me know right then and there that this is not you. I need you to go home. And I need you to get your life together. Because you are truly in a position where you're going to do more damage to yourself than damage to Gary. I can guarantee you that.
What's going on? I think I'm losing my man and my mind.
Speaking of the possibility of losing minds, we see Danny with Carisha. And Danny feels as if she is losing her mind and her man. And quiet as kept, Danny lost her mind a long time ago, y'all. We know Danny ain't wrapped too tight, and that's fine. Because a lot of us are not wrapped too tight. But Danny, she's a special not wrapped too tight. And this is the way I feel. If indeed Tony is slipping away, it's entirely Danny's fault. I don't know any man who is going to continue to invest time in a woman who constantly speaks negatively about his children. And I know that a lot of times when Danny says things about Tony's son and daughter, I guess it is meant to be comedic. It is meant to be humorous. And if you guys checked out the live of Our Sister's Keeper with me and Erica Vane, I talked about, I know many a men. I've dated a guy in particular who has a lot of kids. However, he is a wonderful father. And if I ever made any type of negative connotation towards his children, it just wouldn't be a good day for us. Okay? It just wouldn't be a good day for us. And in my opinion, I believe that Danny says those things to get under Tony's skin, but it doesn't produce the response I believe she's looking for. And for me, Tony has allowed Danny to slip one too many times for me. He has allowed her to say certain things, and his response is just not always what I feel it needs to be as a father, as a protector of his kids. So for me, I just don't see this relationship happening. And the fact that Danny is concerned about losing her man, yet she does things to lose him. She says things to make this man lose interest. So I am really interested to see this conversation between her and Carisha, especially with Carisha placing boundaries between her and Danny as her client, because Danny has abused the fact that Carisha is her therapist and not an on-call physician or an on-call friend or to be there whenever you put up your bat signal. That's not what your therapist is for. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Krisha and Danny journey through this dynamic that they have as therapist and patient.
See if your career continues its upward trajectory when you don't have diversity and inclusion efforts on your side.
Sabrina, please allow me to drag.
Now, Lord, we knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time before Paige released her inner Karen. All I gotta say is that the homegirl said this, Sabrina, at this point, you need to fire her. Go ahead and fire her, give her a first and final, but there needs to be something done. The fact that Sabrina is so passive, that there will probably be no consequence for Paige saying what she said. And if that is the case, I wouldn't be shocked. Sabrina is the manager. She let Maurice run amok and say whatever he wants to say in spite of the work dynamic relationship that they have. It's okay if we could be friends, but one thing that I've seen on this show is that these women do not know how to separate when we can be cool and we could be homegirls, homeboys, and then when we're on the clock, I need you to act in a professional way. So we see that all of them, for the most part, have a problem with drawing that line. But when it comes to Paige and her affirmative action comments and her little other racist comments and connotations that she made, there needs to be consequences for that. But I'm not, I don't have much hope in Sabrina for doing that. So we'll see what baby girl do come this upcoming Wednesday.
What is Robin doing?
He handed Hayden your caseload.
He did what?
Mm-hmm.
Now, lastly, we see Fatima telling Andy that Robin has handed her caseload to Hayden. And Andy appears to be shocked, which is interesting because this show always attempts to try to display Andy as this prestigious lawyer. But when it's time for her to function as a lawyer in her own life with her own affairs, her mind goes blank and she loses all intellect, because it is not abnormal for another lawyer to take over her caseload. And the fact that she is supposed to be portraying this downtrodden, heartbroken fiance because her, other half is laid up in a hospital bed with an attempt on his life. Andy is still trying to move around as if Gary is not a part of her life in this moment. So if she's going to play the part, Andy has to play the entire part and not just when she feels that eyes are on her. I've read some of the synopses and I'm going to do, videos for that. But I can see where this is going. And the fact that Andy is getting things that she just does not deserve is beyond me. But that's how they have structured this show. There are certain characters who get certain things that they just do not deserve. They haven't put in the work for it. And they just give them things freely because that's just what they choose to do. And the fact that we are in episode 8 and I think we're still on the same day. No, we're going into another day is damn near ridiculous. We are literally almost at the halfway mark of this season. But y'all know what? This is Sistas. This is Sistas. And my motto is, we cannot go to the circus expecting Broadway. And I'm going to leave y'all with that. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving for those who celebrated it, Friendsgiving, whatever you did. I hope it was lovely and everything that you imagine it to be. Until next time, y'all be safe out there, and I will holler at y'all later.